Hello, I'm Emily Carter, and I'm 18 years old. It's the kind of place that feels frozen in time, white paint peeling on the porch, the smell of old wood, and memories that never seem to fade. My parents, Laura and David, always said this house was special. Each corner has a story to tell, my mom would whisper to me when I was little, but I had no idea one of those stories was about me. It began on a hot summer afternoon in July. I had just finished high school. My friends were all traveling or preparing for college, but I remained at home to assist my parents in remodeling the house. Dad mentioned it was about time to clean out the basement and attic. He gave me an old flashlight and said, "You'll see boxes from before you were born. Be gentle with them." His words piqued my interest. Before I was born? Our family wasn't secretive, or so I thought. The attic was warmer than I had remembered. Dust hung like glitter in the air. Boxes had been pushed up against the wall, marked Xmas, old clothes, photos. As I moved one aside, the floor creaked, but not normally. It sounded hollow. I tapped it lightly. My heart leapt. I shoved the boxes away and saw a faint outline, a square cut into the wooden floorboards. At first I thought it was nothing. But when I pushed on one corner, the panel sort of flexed. On the other side was a handle. My fingers shook as I yanked it up, and a burst of cold, musty air rushed across my face. There was a tiny staircase leading down into blackness. I stood stock still. "Mom! Dad!" I shouted, but no reply. Something deep inside of me told me not to tell them, at least not yet. So I turned on my flashlight and headed down. The stairs were thin, with dust covering them. At the bottom, a door. Old, metal, and locked. But when I pushed it, the door creaked open. The air was heavy and stale, like the room hadn't been disturbed for decades. When my beam of light went across the walls, my breath caught. There were pictures everywhere. Childish pictures. Stick figures, flowers, houses, and words scrawled in crayon. Emily's room. I saw the world spin. Why would there be a secret room with my name on the walls? On the ground was a small wooden chair, a heart-shaped music box, and a dusty teddy bear missing one button eye. The same bear that I still possessed in my bedroom. I whispered, "This can't be real." I rummaged through the shelves. They were stacked with outdated toys, books, and one box with the words "For Emily" taped on. Within were pictures, dozens of them, but in each, the little girl was not me. She resembled me, same eyes, same hair, but younger, perhaps 5 years old, and next to her were my parents, smiling. I turned over one photo. Back, scribbled in my mom's writing, Emily, 2003, but I was born in 2006. The flashlight trembled in my hand. Who was the girl in the photographs? I dashed upstairs, the photograph clutched in my hand. Mom was in the kitchen, humming gently over the sink and washing dishes. "Mom," I announced, my voice shaking. "Who is this?" She turned, looked at the photo, and the color washed from her face. Her hands faltered, and the plate cracked in the sink. "Where did you find that?" she whispered. "In the attic. There's a room. A hidden room with my name on the wall. What's going on?" She looked like she might faint. "You weren't supposed to find that." "Find what, Mom?" "Tell me the truth." Tears welled in her eyes. She sat down, covered her face, and said words I'll never forget. "Emily, there was another you." Mom told me everything that night. They had a daughter, their first child, before I was born. Her name was also Emily. She was 5 years old when she passed away in an accident in that house. Mom and Dad never spoke of it again. They closed the room and moved on. Years later, when Mom discovered she was pregnant again, she said it was like a miracle, like the first Emily was giving her a do-over. They named me Emily after her, but they never told me. For days I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stop seeing that room in my head. The drawings, the music box, the bear. I felt as if I were living a stranger's life. I wished I could despise my parents for lying, but I could see the pain they bore. Mom would sit out on the porch every night, gazing out over the sunset, quietly crying down her face. One night, I approached her and asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" She spoke softly. "We wanted to save you. We thought, if we entombed the past, it would hurt no more. But pain doesn't go away, Emily. It just hides. Like that room." Her words struck me hard. It was a week later that I returned to the concealed room. I sat on the ground and opened the heart-shaped music box. It produced a soft lullaby, one I somehow knew. Mom would hum it to me when I was a child. In the box, a crumpled piece of paper. It read, in a child's scrawl, "For when you find me." Below it, another note, this one in my dad's handwriting. "We love you, our Emily, always." I cried tears. I understood this room was not intended to frighten me. It was a memory, a time capsule of love and grief. That evening I dreamed. I was in that very same secret room, but no longer dusty. It was light, filled with sunlight, and in the middle stood a brown curl little girl with a soft smile. She appeared just like me. She approached, gave me the music box, and uttered, "Don't be sad. You're me, and I'm you. We both got to live." I awoke with tears on my face, but I felt peaceful. The following morning, I explained the dream to Mom and Dad. Mom smiled gently and said, perhaps it was her own way of saying goodbye. We determined to keep the secret room open permanently, to clean it, paint it, and make it a cozy reading room. Not to wipe out the past, but to remember it. When the renovation was complete, I put the music box on a little table beside the window. Each time I wind it up, I sense an odd peace, as if both Emilys are home at last. Months after, while packing for university, I stumbled on another little envelope concealed in one of Mom's drawers. It was to Emily, whichever one you are. There was a letter from my dad inside. Greater than, if you're reading this, it means you found what we couldn't hide forever. We didn't name you after your sister to replace her. We named you after her because you carry her light. Life takes and gives, and sometimes it gives back in ways that we cannot grasp. Never have the illusion that you're living someone else's life. You're living both of yours, hers and yours, so wonderfully. I wept that night, not because I was sad, but because I was in love. Before I departed for college, I returned to the secret room one final time. I sat on the floor, the sunlight streaming in through the little window. I whispered, "Goodbye, Emily. Thank you for allowing me to find you." The music box wound itself. Once, perhaps it was the wind, or perhaps it was her. Either way, I smiled, because for the first time in my existence, the house no longer felt haunted. It felt complete. It's been 12 months since I departed home. Mom and Dad come by frequently, and they tell me that the room is now their go-to spot to sit and read together. Occasionally, I still dream about that little girl. She doesn't talk anymore. She just smiles. And I know, deep within, that I wasn't supposed to discover a ghost or a secret. I was supposed to discover love that never fades away. My tale isn't one of fear or secrets. It's about healing, about how even secret rooms can keep the warmest memories. So, if you ever discover something unusual in your home, don't be shy to open the door. You might just discover the missing piece of your own history. And if you enjoyed my story, please subscribe to our channel. It really encourages us to continue making stories that touch your heart. Thanks for listening.